Welcome back. We will now be welcoming Honorable Aaron Lukas, Principal Deputy Director of National Intelligence.
Good afternoon, or almost good evening, I guess. Thanks very much for the invitation to join this year's DoDIIS Worldwide Conference. This is my first time here, and I have to say I have been extremely impressed with the organization, the vendors, the attendees. It's really been a top-notch experience. I've already had the chance to speak with a number of folks here this morning, and it recalled in me an old truism that an early mentor of mine when I joined the intelligence community told me, and it's basically this, that there are two kinds of people in the intelligence community: those who understand all the acronyms and those who just pretend to. This, to me, seems doubly true when the military and tech companies are involved, so I may have been doing a bit of pretending this morning as I was going around, but hopefully it's not just me, that there's other people here too that feel that way sometimes. But on a serious note, the theme of this conference, DIA Next, Intelligence Technologies for Battlefield Lethality, is really on point. It captures, I think, the concrete results-driven approach that this community and this administration are taking towards intelligence. And it recognizes the role of emerging technologies as being at the forefront of our competitive advantage in intelligence. So I've never been in the military. I'm certainly no expert on battlefield lethality. To be honest, I think the only things that I have killed throughout my career may have been a couple of bottles of vodka with a particularly difficult Russian target. But from that perspective, my perspective as a former human operator, I think the core intelligence mission has remained pretty much the same throughout my entire career. We've got to deliver timely, actionable, and relevant information to warfighters and policymakers so that they can make better decisions in the moments that matter most, whether that's on the battlefield or in the Oval Office. What's changed is the nature and speed of the fight that we're engaged in. Our adversaries are working together more closely than they ever have before to field new technologies at scale across intelligence, military, and security domains. The faster they innovate, the more advantages that they have, the more disadvantages we have. That reality demands that we discard old rules and processes that slow us down. We can't do acquisitions at the speed of the FAR anymore. We can't afford contracting rules that only a handful of big companies are able to navigate. And if we want the world's best intelligence enterprise and the most lethal and capable military that the world has ever seen, we need rules, frameworks, and partnerships that encourage rapid innovation and not stifle it. Of course, I may be somewhat biased in this, but I think the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, where I work, is playing a unique role in driving these kinds of changes across the community, most notably by coordinating interagency efforts to achieve breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, and by cutting through the bureaucratic habits that still put process ahead of the progress that we need. So I'll take just a few minutes of my time to say a bit about three key ODNI initiatives that I think are advancing these priorities: artificial intelligence, zero trust, and the solutions marketplace. I'll start with AI adoption. In 2025, the National Security Strategy directed the intelligence community to move with urgency on artificial intelligence. We have started to do that, but we have a long way to go. So what are we doing right? Well, first, I think we're defining AI mission success in hard operational terms, and we're measuring it rigorously against specified tasks. That effort spans everything from persistent object tracking and custody to network mapping and disruption to foreign political instability and leadership intentions, signals collection and processing, and on, to include the hard challenges of data security and privacy. Second, we're pushing the intelligence community to move beyond treating AI as just another tool. We envision artificial intelligence woven into the fabric of how we do business, how we operate. Enterprise-wide enablement that lets our workforce deliver intelligence at the speed and scale that our challenges require. Now, I have been an intelligence officer for a long time, but this is the first time that I've seen a technology that truly has the potential to change the fundamental nature of how we do our business. My background, as many of you may know, is as a CIA field operations officer, and in that small universe alone, the potential to free up our operators to be out meeting with humans rather than chained to their desks interacting with computers is truly mind-blowing. There's also the promise, of course, for the first time, of combing through the vast quantities of data that we collect that currently no human ever sees and turning that into real insights and intelligence. Two trends are converging as I see it. The private sector is closing the gap on traditional government advantages on sources and tradecraft while pulling far ahead on speed and modern delivery. The IC is having to keep up through deeper private sector collaboration and by using AI to put out more, better, finished intelligence into the hands of decision makers. In June this year, President Trump signed National Security Presidential Memorandum 11 on AI and the national security enterprise. Among other things, that document assigns ODNI some clear actions. First, rapidly onboarding the most advanced models from multiple sources, and second, acquiring the compute needed to run them. We are taking a commercial-first posture to both of these tasks where we can, so we can move faster on proven technology. Under NSPM 11, we're also partnering to help secure frontier models from all of the major labs. But even as we're moving quickly on AI, we've got to remember who we are and the type of society that we're fighting for. So we are embedding privacy safeguards and data integrity protections directly into the architecture so that constitutional protections and operational reliability travel together. We're also deliberately protecting uniquely human skills of our officer cadre. Higher order thinking and critical analysis that remain and will remain the foundation of good intelligence work. We are looking hard at the risks of over-reliance on technology, including the erosion of critical thinking and greater susceptibility to deception. So I think these AI objectives are pretty clear. Define success, acquire compute, accelerate adoption, transform operations, and counter our adversaries while keeping AI aligned with democratic values, constitutional principles, and rigorous oversight. Beyond AI, securing our networks and information is also a no-fail mission. So I want to say a few words about zero trust as the foundation for cyber defense. And I know Doug Casa spoke a bit about our initiatives on this earlier. Technology advantage is meaningless, I believe, if we can't protect our data. And we can't protect our data if we don't know who's accessing it. That's why Doug, the ICCIO, established a zero trust implementation strategy for IC networks that we are already implementing. It's a concentrated, risk-managed effort with fiscally aligned outcomes, sequenced milestones, and threat-informed standards. Priority is, of course, given to systems and applications that are authorized to process classified information. The plan involves multiple elements, including enterprise license arrangements, agreements, cloud-based software as a service solutions, and IC-facing zero trust capabilities. A core element of this is an IC-wide identity management service that covers human users, their devices, and also, very importantly, AI agents, paired with a fine-grained, attribute-based access controls that reduce and detect unauthorized disclosure. What that all really means is that on IC networks, we'll soon have a lot more confidence that people accessing sensitive data are, first, who they say they are, and second, authorized to have the information that they're pulling up. That requires that every piece of data in the IC information environment be categorized, cataloged, tagged, and governed by adaptable, attribute-based policies under standards set by ODNI and ICCIO. It's an absolutely enormous task, but also an absolutely critical one if we're to defend our networks at a time when AI is completely changing how these networks can be attacked and compromised. And lastly, I just want to mention how we're doing everything we can to open the door wider to private sector innovation. Traditional intelligence and acquisitions approaches are no longer enough. That's why ODNI has comprehensively reorganized our Office of Economic Security and Emerging Technologies, or OSET, which is the core of how we're doing this. OSET used to be solely focused on tracking foreign investment and warning companies about bad actors. It's now a wide open, or becoming a wide open front door for bringing in private sector technological innovation and expertise into IC operations. This is, of course, nothing completely new. DoW is doing this in other areas as well, but we are driving this for the IC. The mission also includes posturing the IC to support policymakers by driving collection, resourcing, and strategic guidance on economic and technology matters, and to ensure economic and tech collection directives reflect the priorities of our nation's leaders. IARPA, the Intelligence Advanced Research Projects activity, now resides in OSET organizationally. Its mission is to identify high-risk, high-reward research that can change how we understand and operate in the modern intelligence landscape. IARPA has been around for a while, but its mission has significantly shifted over the past year, reducing the timeline from capability development to mission impact from 3 to 5 years to now 18 months or less, overhauling acquisition strategies to reach the full innovation ecosystem, and standing up to a new team that captures mission user problem sets and serves as a true front door for industry. Now, we know that the old IARPA model, while it was valuable, it created some high barriers for emerging technology companies. We are very consciously lowering those barriers now. In partnership with the Department of War and the Defense Innovation Unit, we're enabling SCIF as a service sites near major innovation hubs, modeled on a successful approach, by the way, that NRO has been using for years. We're also expanding simple classified network access so that contractors can communicate with the IC and bid on proposals through the Acquisition Resource Center. Making it easier for small and medium-sized businesses who aren't traditional IC partners to do business in the IC is something that I have been personally passionate about since my confirmation into this position. And one request I hear constantly is for a clear, unified, secure front door, or multiple front doors, meaning unclassified websites primarily, where companies can see IC requirements and respond to them. So just last week, we launched IARPA Solution Marketplace, which is designed specifically to address this need. It's really not just another government portal or a call for white papers. It is a deliberate redesign of the front door between innovators and the intelligence community. So very briefly, here's how it works in practice. Solutions providers, startups, established firms, academic researchers, even independent individual technologists can submit short, unclassified 5-minute video presentations, pitches, together with basic supporting information through this single online portal. No full proposal, no immediate requirement to navigate sam.gov for the submission, no requirement for access to classified networks. Expert IC assessors working with industry and academia partners then review submissions on a monthly cycle. Those judged awardable are tagged by strategic focus area and entered into searchable marketplace available to authorized government users. Once a solution is in the marketplace, government customers across the IC can search, compare, and contact providers directly. Critically awardable solutions are treated as post-competitive under existing authorities. Agencies can move towards contracts covering research, prototyping, testing and evaluation, or production through rapid acquisition pathways without restarting a full competition from scratch. For the businesses that participate, terms on intellectual property, on data rights, milestones, and pricing all remain fully negotiable. A single successful pitch can support awards from multiple customers. Solutions remain visible for up to 24 months, and providers receive very direct, frank feedback that allows for refinement and resubmission when necessary. So this marketplace is meant to address shortcomings that we've seen head-on. It replaces opacity with a standing, transparent entry point for the IC. It replaces fragmented discovery with a centralized, continuously refreshed inventory of assessed solutions. It replaces a multi-year proposal cycles with a monthly review cadence and video pitches that lower the barrier for non-traditional innovators. And it harnesses authorities already available to the IC rather than waiting on new legislation. So is this going to be the ultimate best solution for enabling smaller companies to get their solutions to the IC? The honest answer is, I don't know. But I think it has the potential to truly shake things up and ensure that mission owners connect with a far wider array of innovators. And I really think it's important and symbolic of the greater approach that this administration is taking that we are trying to do this to make things better. So let me just close with this, which is to return to the IC's core mission. Every one of these efforts I just described exists for a single purpose: ensuring our policymakers and warfighters have the right information and the right technology at the right time to better protect this country. As long as that remains our North Star, we're going to continue to make progress. So I'll leave you with what in the CIA passes as a sort of war story. A lot less interesting than, I think, a lot of the Department of War stories. A few years back, but well past the kickoff of the AI revolution, I was serving in a field station in a country I won't name, and a contact who was a senior foreign official with access to information that we believed was valuable. He passed me what he said was information that was time-sensitive and of interest to the U.S. government. We didn't know exactly what it was. It had not been assessed. Unfortunately, it turned out we had no translators for the language that these documents were in, no human translators. There were, of course, automated translation tools on our classified systems, but A, they could only read text, not PDFs, and there was no workable optical character recognition for this language. And B, when it did work, the translations were horrible, lacking all nuance, and certainly not good enough to be used in intelligence reporting. The most frustrating thing was, if I had been able to go on the internet and drop these documents into the then existing version of ChatGPT, even then I would have had pretty good quality translations in a few seconds. I couldn't do it. Ultimately, I had to move on with my work, and most of that information never went anywhere, or if it did, it happened too late to be of use. Now, multiply that small example by 100 or 1,000 times over the course of a year, and that gives you just a little sense of what we've been leaving on the cutting room floor in just the human space. Now, imagine what we're leaving on the cutting room floor when it comes to SIGINT and MASSINT and the massive flows of data that we collect. With countries like Russia and China and Iran now working together in ways that we have never seen against the United States and our interests, we just can't afford situations like this anymore. If we don't innovate faster, we're toast. You all know this, and the good news is we are getting better at bringing in private sector innovation and expertise into the fight. That's really what this conference is all about, and that's why I'm so happy to see all of you here and see the great work and the great innovation that is being done and the partnerships that are being forged. So thank you once again for the invitation. Thank you for being able to share a few thoughts with you, and I wish you a very productive remainder of the conference.
Thank you, Honorable Lukas. We appreciate you joining us for the first day of the DoDIIS Worldwide Conference. As we conclude, please be sure to explore the networking socials at the Tampa Marriott Water Street Hotel this evening. Join us here tomorrow for the second day of the conference, with sessions kicking off at 07:50. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.